What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns with some screenshots from the Mafia 3 Worldwide Reveal trailer. By the way, the trailer is linked below in the description section, as well as an IGN article that we're going to discuss. So you can go check all that out for yourself. A lot of information has come out this morning regarding Mafia 3, and I believe there's some gameplay video out there somewhere. I've looked everywhere for it, but I can't find it. I mean, I have seen it, but I haven't been able to find it to where I could actually do screenshots of it. So anyway, Mafia 3 is going to be set in 1968 in a city based on New Orleans. Obviously, it's not going to be called New Orleans because the previous two cities in the previous two Mafia games were named after fictional cities based on real cities, like the first game, Lost Heaven. Empire Bay was in Mafia 2, so it's going to have some sort of New Orleans themed name to it, maybe Crescent City or New France or New Paris or something like that. But it's definitely not going to be called New Orleans. And I'm kind of excited about this because I live in Louisiana. I've been down in New Orleans once or twice. By the way, Vito confirmed. That's right, Vito lives. He survived the events of Mafia 2, and he's one of Lincoln Clay's lieutenants, apparently, according to this IGN article linked in the description section. Now, Lincoln Clay is an orphan. He's mixed race. He is a Vietnam vet. The events of Mafia 3 take place in 1968. Lincoln Clay, upon returning to this New Orleans-based city, becomes involved with the Black Mob. However, the Black Mob gets wiped out by the Italian mob, and Lincoln Clay, I guess, is one of the only survivors of the Black Mob. So he teams up with Vito, Cassandra, who leads the Haitians, and Burke, this middle-aged white Irish guy. And along with Vito, they form some sort of new criminal empire based in this New Orleans-like city. And it seems pretty apparent from the interview with Hayden Blackman, formerly of LucasArts. He is the creative director for Hangar 13, Under 2K, and of course Take-Two Interactive. They're the ones that are doing Mafia 3. And according to him, Vito, Cassandra, and Burke are all three going to be kind of like lieutenants to Clay. So while they're taking over the city in the wake of the fall of the Italian mob, you're going to have a lot of power struggle going on. Clay will be able to decide who gets control of this territory and that territory. And based on the territories you give Vito, Cassandra, and Burke, they may either like this piece of territory or they may not like it. Or Cassandra, Burke, or Vito may start to feel neglected, and that could cause some sort of ramifications. So I guess it's going to be kind of a balancing act, building this new criminal empire along with this alliance with you as Lincoln Clay, Cassandra, Vito, and Burke. It definitely feels like it's going to be a balancing act, trying to get it just right to where you're building up your empire without having anyone talk of betrayal or trying to stab you in the back or causing any internal problems, which will most likely occur with at least one of the factions, because how can you make everybody happy, right? That's the way our world works. You can't make Haitians, you can't make Italians and Irish get along forever in the city, so eventually I'm sure you'll piss off somebody as Lincoln Clay, be it Vito, Cassandra, or Burke, or maybe you'll make them all mad at you, and you too will end up in the bayou consumed by alligators. By the way, obviously a wildlife going to be confirmed in Mafia 3. The ability to not only traverse the city, but go out into the swamp, the bayou, and hopefully not end up gator bait. Now, the setting of Mafia 3 is pretty cool because it's in the late 60s. You have the Vietnam War raging along with the Civil Rights Movement, and of course Nixon is running for president. Obviously, there's a lot of really good music if you're into that kind of music, like Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower. That's how the trailer opens, and then it closes with House on the Rising Sun, which is very fitting for the city of New Orleans. And there's going to be a lot of other good music from various genres, not just the rock at the time and the hit songs from the 60s, but obviously blues and jazz, which are very prevalent in the New Orleans area. It's part of the culture down there. So there's definitely going to be a lot of that. Plus, the vehicles are going to be fantastic. A lot of awesome muscle cars came out around that time. And you're going to have rides from the other parts of the 60s, as well as the 50s, and probably further back as well. And the final bit of information is Mafia 3 is coming out in 2016. Is it going to be the spring? Is it going to be the summer or the fall of 2016? 2016? I guess we will find out sooner or later. Let me know below in the comment section. Are you excited about Mafia 3, Vito's return, the new location based obviously on New Orleans? I am, not just because I live in Louisiana, but because New Orleans is a very lively and interesting city. It's quite unique, with the French Quarter, Bourbon Street, the trolleys running up and down the roads, and of course you have the mighty Mississippi River, you got Lake Pontchartrain, the swamps, the bayous. I think this is going to be a fantastic location for Mafia 3 to be set in, and of course the main quote from Mafia 3 is, "Family isn't who you're born with, it's who you die for." I'm also pretty excited about the main protagonist. Lincoln Clay feels like a badass. All his life he's tried to belong, from being an orphan of mixed race to being a Vietnam vet to being part of the black mob. And of course that training in Vietnam, having to bleed in a jungle, as he points out in the Reveal trailer. By the way, that is once again linked below in the description section, along with a very detailed article from IGN. And be sure and join me tomorrow for my Throwback Thursday. We're going to be doing Mafia 2. That's right, Mafia 2 on tomorrow's edition of Throwback Thursday.